Yeah, I get. Okay. Can you hear me now? I guess I was on mute. Oh, I can hear you fine. Yeah, I couldn't afford another room. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Juan, sorry I didn't respond to you sooner. I had to do a little small thing, but I'm back on. So let me mute my mic. Hi, Lori.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I hope you're not weirded out by the picture. I know I look like a baby.
It's okay. Oh wow. It's okay. I'm. Yeah, I'm very. I'm not. I'm like a tough skin. I'd say I have a pretty tough skin. Yeah. Yeah. I understand. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm sharing it. Sorry, I had my mic muted. Didn't want to interrupt. I'm sending you a screenshot because I want you to know what else you want me to include in the caption. I just did. I unsent the message on the block chat, and now I just send it to you.
The Ravens Flock presents The Black Files, an uncensored interview and review podcast for all geek fandom.
Cold beverage or a warm beverage, if that's your prerogative. It is Wednesday evening, and we're going ahead. We're setting up with a brand new episode of the Black Files. I'm your host Juan Arauz, one of the heads of the Ravens flock, and joining us tonight is going to be our usual band of suspects and a special guest as well. I'll go ahead and introduce you. We've got Jose Casabona, the head of the Ravens flock and host of the Wrestle Rewind program. Jose, go ahead and say
hello, folks. Hello, folks. How you guys doing? And of course, a happy Cinco de Mayo to those who celebrate it.
Wow.
I sure don't. I locked myself in the house.
All right, and the and our guest that we have tonight is a very brave young lady. I'd like to introduce her. Her name's Lori, and we actually have a very explicit story that we need to talk about, folks. We're gonna go ahead and just cut right into the topic over here, and this you can tell that I'm not in my usual A game when it comes to something like this, namely because I do not appreciate what this story has become. We originally thought that it was something that was dumb and silly, and we didn't know the depth of what had actually been going on with this. So initially, we didn't pay too much mind to it, but we're.
I mean, it's understandable. The situation and the circumstances surrounding the story has escalated.
Yeah, definitely. And if you could not tell from the headline, from the title of tonight's program, we're going to be discussing the situation involving a man living here in Florida who goes by the name of Eric, and we're not going to go into the rest of his name because we're as much as the situation calls for it, we are not here to out people or to try to slander anybody. But at the same time, the story is going that this guy had posed as a member of a convention staff to try to get laid, and we originally thought, oh hey, this is just some loser, but things took a very sharp turn, and Miss Lori will tell us all about it. So, folks, we're for first-time listeners or first-time viewers of the Black Files, this is the uncensored, unrated podcast of the Ravens flock. Normally, we discuss geek news. We normally discuss pop culture news. We'll have interviews with people. We'll have we'll have discussions about the hard topics here in the con community, in the Florida geek community. And normally we try to keep things as light as possible. We'll just have heated discussions. We'll have different opinions, and of course, we are also going to have situations where we're going to discuss things that you may not be comfortable with, or things that may clash with your worldview. Of course, you are free to tune out if that's what you wish, but we invite you to keep an open mind. We invite you to support the Ravens flock, to support the folks that we try to help out in situations like this. And like we've been saying since 2013, we're here to make your voice our mission, and we try to help speak out for folks who could use a hand in their own struggles against injustice in the con community, in the geek community here in Florida, especially. And if you read the description, tonight's episode of the Black Files discusses issues of sexual abuse and trauma. So audience discretion is strongly advised. So if you don't mind us, Lori, we're going to go ahead and go ahead and jump right into this.
That's okay.
Yeah. So a couple of weeks back over here, the Ravens flock and other folks here in the Florida community had heard, had actually gotten screenshots of a guy going by the name of Eric who had been private messaging women, pretending to be pretending to be a staffer for Anime Festival Orlando, AFO for short. This guy had been messaging girls trying to basically work on using his position as a supposed staff member to try to gain people's trust so that he can get in bed with them. And once this was found out and once this was discovered and known, everyone just went straight to town on him. This was all happening on Facebook, from what I can tell now. This guy's Facebook is either privated or terminated or gone or suspended. Something happened with it. No one can find him right now. But initially, and like I mentioned earlier, it's a little embarrassing. When the Ravens flock first found out about the story, we wanted to simply point it out as a point and laugh moment because like this fucking
because this guy was being an absolute dumbass, an absolute scumbag, and painting the bad picture for AFO.
Yeah, like who the hell does this guy think he is? He thinks he can get away with pretending to be staff members. I mean, like literally, it takes only like 2 seconds to check with someone who's like an admin on the AFO page, or email someone from AFO like, "Hey, I got this guy, and he's being."
That was going to be my next question. Around the time and before we've heard of the instance with Lori, AFO, they promptly released a statement addressing this guy, didn't they?
Yes. Once the moment, this issue was brought up, and once this was made, public to people, once that was done, folks had been immediately like just jumping down on this guy, and basically just pointed and laughed and ridiculed him away. Little did we realize was that this situation had actually been much more serious than we thought. And this is where we're going to go ahead and allow Lori to go ahead and speak her piece. If it's all right with you, you can go ahead and like I said, you can be as candid as you wish. You can say as much or as little as you want on this situation, and we're not.
I'll go ahead and mute my mic.
Yeah. Okay, that's much appreciated, Jose. And we're not going to interfere. We're just going to go ahead and unload. Say however much you need to. Okay.
All right. I was just having a connection problem, so don't mind me.
No, I understand.
So, oh my God, this is going to be really hard to explain all by myself.
No, I understand. I'll try and help fill in the blanks on some stuff because this isn't the first time we discussed it this week. For those of you who know the Ravens flock, we are closely aligned with our Texas brethren over at Geeks 5 Ever. The host of their podcast over there, Jesse Goku, clued us in on this aspect of the situation. We initially just like I said, we initially just thought it was just some fail moment, but Jesse Goku had clued us in on what was going on here. So I was on the podcast this past Monday night, so I'll be more than happy to help fill in as best I can for you and help you out.
Okay. So at first I got contacted by this Eric dude. He did exactly what he said to the other, like that happened to the other victims, pretended to be a panel organizer, telling me, okay, I need dancers for this contest. Would you like to enter this contest? I can't find anyone to enter this contest. I think your cosplay looks cool. And I'm like, okay, what's the contest about? And he explains it to me. It seems like a perfectly legit contest.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives me this Google form to fill out my information. And he quickly turns the conversation to inappropriate things, and I block him.
Okay. Like, and by inappropriate, he was basically trying to get personal with you. He was basically trying to start getting like trying to hit on you basically, and
Yeah, I'm trying to ask me sexual questions.
right. Okay, and of course this once this guy had come in and you were trying to block him afterwards, he didn't take no for an answer, did he? He did not stop once you blocked him off.
No, what he actually did was that he faked an entire identity to catfish me on a date. There's this good friend, close friend of mine. He's not directly related to the situation,
Mm-hmm.
but he does like indirectly play a role. His name is Justin. He's best known for cosplaying Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff. Little short dude. Um, and basically, because I'll tell you why he's relevant later on. But this guy basically catfishes me onto a date with him. And I go and see him, and I get brought into the apartment, and he does some really messed up stuff to me. And it left me injured, like down from work for an entire week because I had injuries to the area. And I'm not going to go into detail about what exactly happened during that because
Right, but
it's really
you know, we
really
can
grotesque.
we can infer and imply what you're referring to. So I think we'll, like I said, we'll leave it at that specifically because
Yeah.
like we said, we don't want to. Okay, so like I said, we don't want to get into whatever detail if you're not comfortable. So, right.
So
He did that.
afterwards, that night, he texts me. I guess he must have been looking up my information or something because he's like, "Okay, you like this Justin guy, don't you?" And he starts like begging me to marry him, telling me I'll win this victory over Justin, and he starts making threats about causing physical harm to Justin and how bad he is, and telling some really nasty stuff about Justin. And I keep blocking the number, and he keeps making more and more numbers, at least 10 numbers, if not 20. I had to eventually shut off my phone and change my number the next morning because he said some stuff that genuinely made me cry.
So he was basically going through your personal information
And
online to try to.
he was constantly bashing me and Justin in those texts. Like he literally threatened to physically go to Plant City and physically harm Justin.
Oh my goodness! So this guy was it was not only did he do that, but after the fact, he went ahead and started sending threats online to you and to a friend of yours. You said your friend's Justin.
Yeah.
Okay, and what happened after that? Of course, he couldn't have been able to continue taking that for too much longer.
He even attempted to be Justin, which I'm like, okay, first off, Plant City's 813 area code. Your area code's 321. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm on a new family plan. I'm like, well, send me some proof that it's you then. He sends me a picture of his driver's license. And, like Eric's fucking driver's license. I'm like, gotcha, bitch.
Good God.
So I got take all the screenshots. I have the clothes that I wore. I headed to the police station. Mind you, I live in a different county than Eric does. So what happens with police is that they don't like crossing the county lines. And I talked to this female officer over the phone. And the female officer's up front with me from the start. And she's like, well, if we do anything at all, it would probably be a low misdemeanor charge, and it's completely up to the judge if he has to register as a sex offender or not. And I was told to go to this police station in Ocoee. And even though the hours were clearly posted, it was during the hours, they refused to let me in and claimed that they were closed. They wouldn't even let me in to use the bathroom, even though there was actual civilians in there. So they make me call back the non-emergency line, and I have to wait over an hour for a deputy, which the deputy then makes me put down a written statement. And he makes this comment like, are you sure you're going to be competent enough? You know, you have autism because of your autism and stuff. I might want to, you might go get some testing because we don't know if, your autism makes your claims valid enough.
All right, so
or we don't know how well you can take care of yourself.
So just so we're clear, also we have Angel Mendez joining us. He's a little late to the party, but he is with us tonight. Thank you for coming up with us, Angel. He's another.
Hello.
My apologies for not sounding my best. I had to plow through a lot of vocal work today, so my throat is not doing as good as it should. Thank you for having me today in this difficult occasion.
No, you're
Dude, do you have a glass of water with you?
Oh, it's not the water. It's the fact that I did about 7 auditions and then I narrated about 3 pages worth of text, and I have 3 more to go tomorrow. It's just overworking, but I appreciate the concern.
You'll be okay. You'll be all right. I appreciate you joining us here, Angel. Just to recap, since you came in a little late, Lori was explaining to us a situation about this guy Eric, who about a week or 2 ago was outed publicly online for posing as a panel organizer for Anime Festival Orlando and attempting to use that beta position to try to get laid with women. While publicly the only thing that we all knew of was the failed attempt that he tried. Lori let us know here that Eric had actually succeeded in doing very explicit and very harmful things to Lori herself. She was explaining to us just now that she attempted to go to the police in person to file a complaint to try to get something done.
Yeah, there's more to that.
Right.
I was halfway through explaining that.
Right. Sorry.
Please go ahead.
Yes, please continue.
So after I did the written statement, they took me to the HQ, and I was with detectives for over 3 hours while they were doing the hard pull on my phone. And the detectives were like, okay, I think the courts are going to throw this out because you seem like a girl that's just seeking revenge. Go to therapy and stop trying to make the police solve your problems. Have a good day.
So they just dismissed the whole thing. Just
yeah,
like that.
they threw out the entire case. Like, I was so pissed off, I told them to just throw out the clothes I sent them. I mean, thankfully, it was just like a cheap gray tracksuit. It wasn't anything fancy.
So you provided them like evidence that they could use. You gave them
with screenshots, with clothing, with like potential DNA matches. I did like almost everything. I was denied a rape kit. I tried to go and get a rape kit at a sexual assault center. They wouldn't let me do it because of the county lines.
Because this happened across county lines, they would not.
Yeah.
They refused
to
have
the rape center I went to didn't do the rape kit because of the county different. Because I'm like, okay, this happened in Orange County. We can't do that. And mind you, I had to drive out because there isn't any assault centers in Lake County.
Extraordinary. So you're telling me that this piece of garbage took advantage of you without your consent, and because of the stupidity of the barriers between states, somehow you couldn't get what you needed to prove it.
Yeah.
That is genuinely disgusting. I am very sorry you had to deal with that.
And I told you, and as I told the other guy earlier, they were questioning my competency. Both the deputies and the detectives were questioning my competency due to my autism.
They were looking for every
like
excuse they could to not do their job.
Yeah, like this
Extraordinary.
Eric guy, mind you, he didn't use any lube. He refused to wear a condom. He went for over 2 hours. Like I was literally pinned into the bed for hours. And like thankfully I did not get pregnant, but I had some blood loss for a week, and I had to go to the urgent care and get like medicine for infections, and I had to get like STD testing. I had to like wear the pads.
That is insane. And this particular person has most likely been doing this for how long? How long has this guy been going around lying about his position in order to get laid with willing or unwilling participants? Because this is the kind of crime that might actually leave a trail by the rate this year is going.
Yeah. According to people I've spoke to, there's someone that's claiming it's been going on for years. And one of the craziest things about this is that another victim, was asked to go to a different house. And when we did a reverse search on that house, we were able to, I can't 100% confirm it, but there's this guy named Caesar that lived in that house, and he's highly suspected to be the uncle we keep talking about. And when we looked up the information about this uncle, we found out that he was a court clerk.
So this guy Eric has a history of sending his would-be victims to the house of his uncle, who happens to work.
He sends him the multiple different addresses.
But this one specifically, his uncle works for the court as a clerk.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely scummy. Holy shit! And his uncle, his uncle tries to help help him get away with it, like help cover his ass. Am I correct?
Yeah, and also we suspect that the uncle owns multiple properties. We know for sure there's at least 2 different addresses women are being drawn to. But from the conversations I read, from the things he said to me, and from the searches that we did on the data mining of public records, we highly suspect that there is activity in the Plant City, Valrico area. And it's also possible that he might be doing some naughty stuff in other cities too. But Plant City, Valrico, we found a potential relative and a potential friend. And what's scary about that is that my friend Justin lives in Plant City.
Jesus Christ!
And the fact that he was like, oh yeah, that little short dude that goes to the college that lives with his grandparents made me really like, whoa, holy shit. That made me freak out. She's like, what if he actually is able to track down Justin and do something to him? Because, like, mind you, Justin's like a little 5'6" dude. He's not, and Eric's like 6'4", and like he works in a warehouse, so he's extremely strong.
So not only is this Eric guy clearly physically capable of doing your friend harm, it's very possible that with these this resources that he has access to, that he could look your friend up and try to do something to him.
Like I have a feeling that Eric could possibly track down Justin.
I sincerely
Still a dangerous precedent. The fact that he's bad enough that he's not only a liar, but he's clearly a criminal. And the fact that he's managed to get away with this for so long is the part that worries me the most. This is not just a mere thug. This appears to be a bad person with connections. That's the scariest part. Somebody agreed to work with this individual to allow him to get away with this particular heinous acts for years, supposedly.
For years, yeah. And I think this is one of the major takeaways that needs to be addressed on this episode is to be wary of people like them, people who've committed these atrocious, disgusting acts and who are well connected, well connected enough to get
yeah.
away with any lawful loopholes.
Yeah, I have contacted Justin, and I have yet to receive a response, and it kind of makes me a little bit nervous.
I can't say I blame you for that, but it is a good idea to try to stay in contact with him as soon as possible. Because if this kind of person has been getting away with this long, and now, after all these years, finally the lid is getting blown open and all the bullshit he's pulled,
Yeah. It
I
makes
fear
me
someone
wonder
like that
if
might
Justin
get
is really
desperate.
taking it seriously or not, because the silence, it actually makes it worse with him being silent.
Indeed. Now, mind you, he might be gathering information on this case, but it would be nice to at least keep a bridge of verbal.
Another possibility is that Justin's trying to stay off grid, trying to stay disconnected, not to avoid you, but to try to protect themselves. It's possible,
it's fine.
But I don't know.
I mean, he's been reading my messages and he's been posting on the internet, so he's not like completely going off grid, but his activity is reduced.
Okay.
Indeed, it would be worth looking into because, well, someone like that in that position of power who suddenly has their lid blown open and their information exposed, there are a few venues they can take. They can always usually run away with their tail between their legs, but it is a very dangerous possibility that a criminal could lash out at those that they feel have wronged them by exposing them.
Yeah, and another thing, there is a possibility, there's some leasing records I saw, and not only does his family in general have a record of moving around frequently, but Eric himself has a record of moving around frequently. Mind you, the uncle has only lived at that house for a few years, and he's already talking about moving to another city. Like he said, the uncle allegedly either already owns property or will own property in Marion County in the future. So if you know anyone who lives towards Ocala, we might have some victims in Ocala. And he also used to live in Jacksonville, and he claims to go back every now and then. So Jacksonville's another possible spot too.
So this guy is everywhere. He can.
He has already shown willingness to meet up with girls several hours away. This dude will literally do anything that is possible to meet up with women. He will take out hotel rooms. He will cross county lines. He will blow a tank of gas. He'll do anything he can to get laid.
I hope you don't mind me while you've been discussing this. It occurred to me that perhaps please remind me which police department did you initially attempt to go to where they turned you away? This is Lake County Police or
no, this was the police station in Ocoee. The Orange County, the Ocoee branch of the Orange County Sheriff's Office.
Ocoee
which
branch.
is what I was told. Which was what I was told by the emergency line to go to, and they turned me away. Because Ocoee was the closest station to where I was at the time.
I see. No, I understand. I hope you'll excuse me on this because it occurred to me. While we're live here, it occurred to me that perhaps since this police department had failed in flagrantly failed in executing their duties to help protect and serve the communities, I'm going ahead and I'm actually sending this podcast right now, and I'm sending it on the Twitter page for the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. That would be the law enforcement agency for the entire state. And I'm tagging them on this right now, sending this to them now, and hoping that this will catch somebody's attention.
Also, if you're not up to date on what's going on, me and AFO have also contacted Spectrum News 13, and we're trying to gather as many people's screenshots and information that we can.
So Spectrum Spectrum News 13. That would be Orlando again, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Well, no, that is good, though. Putting pressure on the police via the media would probably be somewhat effective. If nothing else, at least them coming to his house and questioning him, if not an arrest.
Sometimes when the law itself fails, the best option is to put the truth out there as much as possible.
Mhm.
At the moment you get enough public people on your side essentially going, why the hell isn't somebody doing something about this? That at least will get somebody to put their foot forward, if only by virtue of lighting a fire big enough under their ass.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Sorry, my throat is fucking killing me right now.
Dude, I seriously
fine.
think you need to drink a glass of water. It'll help with your throat.
Water's not enough.
Oh, trust me, I've been drinking. I'm just gonna grab me some green apples and honey when I get back from work tomorrow. But that's not important. The important thing is you're doing the best thing you can right now, which is indeed bringing the truth to as many people as you can. Because pieces of shit like that cannot get away as long as you put enough out there that somebody needs to question why they're still walking free.
Like, there isn't a whole lot I can do at this point other than verbally like speak out, because all my screenshots are gone now after I spoke with the detectives, and all my hard evidence is gone because the clothes got thrown away and I was denied the rape kit.
So not only did they deny your
I asked them to throw the clothes away because I was just so pissed off. So that's kind of my fault. And also that evidence is only good for up to 5 days after the incident. So even if I did keep the tracksuit, it wouldn't be worth it.
Even so, if we can get this out there enough, if maybe your voice can be used to reach enough people, perhaps another victim can reach out with information or evidence. I'm saying, of course, not to put somebody in danger. If they value their life and privacy, I understand. But this is the kind of thing where clearly law enforcement has not done the job they're supposed to. So it falls to someone, anyone, to at least make it known as quickly as possible, because eventually something has to give. Somebody like that does not make such a long trail of crimes without putting some holes out there that somebody can poke to. So I apologize for coming in late for this, but despite the horrible experience that you had, I would like to actually thank you for taking the time to join us. And well, I understand this is clearly not easy for you to speak about this kind of thing, but know that for what little is worth, your voice out here matters, because as long as at least one more person can hear what you have to say, that is what makes it important.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I couldn't have said it better myself.
The Lake County vaccination site, I mean, thankfully they allowed me to keep my job after that, despite the fact that I had to spontaneously take a week off due to an injury. But fortunately, the site, we vaccinated almost the entire county, which is very good. But in the meantime, it meant that I had to start looking for another job, and I had to resign. And I'm currently in between jobs. Right. So money's a little bit tight right now. My birthday's coming up this.
No, I get you. You've actually been helping out, and you've actually been helping and providing a public service over here. You said you've been working at a vaccination site to help getting people vaccinated as best as possible. So obviously, you've done a really good job at that. I do hope that you're able to find some kind of work in the near future.
I think I might have a job, by the end of this week. It's just, making sure that the big boss likes me.
That's good. That's good. Of course, as long as you keep trying, there's bound to be some kind of work somewhere. If there's going to be plenty
over 100,000 people vaccinated at our site alone. I actually made a little cameo in the news.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Oh, nice. That's actually rather good.
Yeah, it's just me in the corners doing something in a vest. So, I was on the news.
That's actually rather cool.
Yeah, my buddy Justin, he's mainly focused on raising his follower count right now. But I want to, Justin, please, if you're listening to this, please listen to me. This guy's extremely dangerous. I care about you. I hope you feel the same about me. I just need you to talk. I just need you to say something, because it's just driving me crazy that you're silent. I care about you a lot, man. Just please listen to me. I know our relationship hasn't been, the best lately, and stuff in your personal life and mine's kind of caused a rift, but we need to kind of overcome whatever the fuck is going on and just talk.
Yes, please. Justin, if you're watching this program or if you're listening to this, please go ahead and reach out to Lori as soon as possible. They miss you. They're concerned about you. Please go ahead and reach out to Lori as soon as you can. At least just let them know, hi, I'm alive. I have a pulse. Something, anything.
Any updates will do at this point, if only to know that some progress is trying to be made at this point. Oh, this point. Excuse me.
You're all right, man. No, you kind of sounded like digitally garbled for a minute. You're okay. Don't worry.
That is because my vocal cords are turning into binary code right now.
Well, in a way, you're not wrong, but I get what you mean.
Yeah, I'm really bad at explaining things, so if you want to just start asking me questions, I would be okay with that.
Okay. So, so at this point, I actually wanted to go ahead. Yeah, if Jose or Angel, if either of you have any questions so far about the situation,
Or,
anything that wasn't
if you
clear-
just have any questions about me in general, it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to just be about this topic. It doesn't just have to be about this in general. So yeah, if either of you guys have any sort of questions, if you just want to get to know Lori a little better, now's a good time.
I see. Well, first off, thank you once again for taking the time to join us. It's a shame it had to be under these circumstances. Hopefully, when the cons reopen under a more safer environment, we'll be able to properly greet each other as friends instead of just interviewee and interviewer. So that aside, though, how are you feeling so far with the current status of the circumstance in the con community? How's everything been for you aside from this case?
Things have been okay. I've had the wonderful chance to live in Lake County. I'm originally from Compost.
Oh.
I finished the cosplay wig I was working on. I'm cleaning my house up.
That's cool.
My cats are doing pretty good.
Do you do a lot of theater work, or like is that you said that you just got through with a play? So is that something that you that
cosplay for me is just a hobby. I don't really do it professionally.
No, I'm sorry. I thought I misheard you. I thought you said that you just finished up a college play. I didn't realize.
Oh no, I finished up a cosplay.
Cosplay. My bad. I misheard you. I thought you were like, oh, hey, so
it's
he works in theater
fine.
production. That's cool, kind of thing. And but yeah, cosplay. Yeah.
Just as I said earlier, my birthday's coming up. It's on May 26th.
Congratulations.
I'm having a friend come visit me.
All right. Questions from me. Let's see. All right. I do have a question. With everything going on with the pandemic, with the current circumstances right now, for the remainder of 2021, do you plan on going to any conventions in the near future?
Yes, I'll be at MetroCon, LumiCon, and Holiday Matsuri, given they still are happening.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's awesome.
Wait, hang on. Is one of those cons the ones that's going to happen in June, the one that we were planning on going to? Or am I getting the names wrong?
Canceled. MetroCon said they're going to happen. So unless the county forces them to shut down, they're probably going to go on with the event.
Yeah, no, the one
there might be some modifications, however.
No, the one they were probably thinking about, Angel, is probably VillainCon.
You sure that was the name?
I'm pretty sure that was the name because there's VillainCon, there's AFO, there's what do you call it? MetroCon. There's MegaCon Orlando. I definitely want to try to get there.
I'm actually kind of happy that after the mess that has been this pandemic and just the decay of the con situation in general in Florida, I'm still glad that there's still so many events still going that we can enjoy. Though we actually go through a variety of topics, even here in the Black Files, we don't like to forget that our roots came from the con community. And despite how shitty the situation has become, we would like to go back there one day under a safer time with better people. And hopefully at one point we might be able to meet you as well.
Yeah. I got a really nice hotel for MetroCon, but I have to make sure I have $600 in my bank account. But I do have a mysterious second guest slot in case my buddy Justin wants to come with me. If not, I have some
Nice.
alternative picks for the second guest, but he's my number one choice for the second guest.
Good to have a sound B, if nothing else. Smart thinking on that matter.
Yeah, naturally, of course. Well, like it's when it comes to booking a hotel, we always have a rule like if we're going to be booking one, whoever's booking it, assume you're going to be paying it just on your own and don't expect anyone else to.
I'm not. If someone wanted to come with me, I wouldn't charge them because I'd already have it paid. Because they,
Yeah,
Yeah, no, like
it's not like I'm expecting Justin to put up half the cost. He would come with me for free.
No, Juan,
I also have an
game of
extra
Rochambeau.
VIP ticket.
nice.
That
Very nice.
wasn't on purpose. It was just that I was supposed to go with a different friend, last year, and they had a special deal for 2 VIP tickets. So I have an extra VIP ticket laying around.
That is actually pretty cool. Oh, Juan, one thing I was going to mention, I don't know if you heard me. No, Juan, we don't discuss this like gentlemen. We play a game of Rochambeau between you, me, and Angel. Whoever loses, pay the most.
We used to play Yu-Gi-Oh, but then the game broke so hard that Juan kept winning, so he just kept paying for it. It was terrible.
I will be cosplaying a Yu-Gi-Oh character in my next con.
Oh, you will? You're going to be cosplaying a Yu-Gi-Oh character? Which one?
Blue Angel from Yu-Gi-Oh Brains.
Nice.
Justin's very well known in the Florida cosplay community because he always wears that Yusaku cosplay every single year for some reason. I think it's because he's too poor to afford another cosplay, but it's iconic in its own way.
Real quick,
there's something to be said for good old-fashioned consistency, if nothing else.
Yes.
Real quick, I wanted to give a shout out on the chat on our YouTube chat here. Geeks5Ever is actually on the chat. I want to thank you again, Jesse Gilgu, for introducing us and helping us get this.
Hi, Geeks5Ever. I can't see the chat.
No, they're on the chat on YouTube, not in the Zoom call over here. He was saying, "Where's the con? I do plan on coming to Florida, and I make a good bodyguard with these new gains I got." Yeah, no, he's been chronicling his fitness regimen that he's been getting back into.
He's been getting swole.
Mm-hmm.
Beef.
And so a little extra muscle definitely goes a long way. We appreciate that, man. So,
Jesse, join the Swole Patrol with me and Angel.
We will fight for iron. We will fight for gains every day of our lives.
But also for electrolytes. Why do you think I'm over here swinging down Gatorade while I'm in the middle of listening?
And that's why you are the only one here with a working brain. Joe and I have muscles. You have the neurons. There. We are all 3/4 of a whole reed. Dumbass.
Yep. Like I said, Lori, we do try to keep things lighthearted whenever we can.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
For goodness sake, it's important to have levity.
Sometimes we gotta live. Though, of course, not to downplay the situation you endure. We appreciate the extra you took time and get here. I cannot emphasize how brave this person is being by talking about her difficult situation with us. No matter what happens, though, know that we are here to search for the truth, difficult as it may be.
Absolutely. Dude, it goes with our credo, your voice, our mission. And I am glad that we have someone like Lori on the Black Files right now telling the story. And like I said, this is something that needs to be apparent. This is something that needs to be addressed to everybody and to, and take this also as a I don't want to say learning curve, but lessons to learn from this.
Exactly.
Yeah. How speaking of the situation, I know a lot of people were expressing disappointment at Holiday Matsuri's response to the situation, because basically what happened with them is that first off, mine was obviously taken down because it was very harsh. However, the Holiday Matsuri kept deleting the posts, any discussion of Eric for a good week or so. And they had to, and a lot of people had to go on their ass to make a statement. And when they finally did, they were very vague about it. And so a lot of people were expressing disappointment because they thought that whole Matt's response was low effort and wasn't really properly addressing the problem.
That is an unfortunate reality that we have seen throughout the years that we've been working in and out of the con scene. When situations like this erupt, the people in charge, unfortunately, tend to panic as they fear that anything that could tarnish the reputation of the con might screw over their chances to go to the next con and the next year. And, well, this was not helped by the not so recent issues that happened in the con scene years ago that I'm not going to get into those because that's not for here or now. But let's just say the reputation of cons in Tampa in general took a massive blow a few years ago. And as a result, everybody... Con. Yeah, that one too. That was pretty much where I was going.
Yeah, sure.
And everybody essentially is walking on pins and needles, trying not to tip the bottles too little. But that means that sometimes they're willing to let really heinous shit happen just because they don't want to tarnish the image. And we've seen where that goes. We've seen how well that turns.
Yeah, that's a whole different can of worms, my friend. That's something that we would have to discuss in a different episode.
It's okay.
I mean how it connects to this kind of thing.
I would actually like, if nobody minds me saying, I would actually like to have us try and chronicle. It's sort of like an anthropology study of the rise and fall of ShadowCon. See how that happened.
Oh, a case study! Oh my god!
No, not in a we're just stirring tea and drama.
No.
Like I want us to try to see okay, what happened? Who was involved with that? What happened and why did Chris Kalina do the stupid things that they did that led to the downfall of ShadowCon?
I really wish that I could just sit down, open a big book, and start writing down in the beginning.
That's something that we can experiment with, with actual facts and details of everything from beginning to end. And I don't see a reason why we can't. If we do that, like I said, it'll be another lesson learned for those who listen.
We could call it the ShadowCon retrospective.
ShadowCon retrospective, that would be beautiful.
A retrospective from the shadow?
No, that's too much.
ShadowCon. The shadiest retrospective.
Shady retrospective. Angel.
I kid.
Let's play nice, children. It's not. Actually, you know what? I was going to say it's not Chris Kalina's fault that he fucked up his own convention, but then that would be lying. So I'm not going to say that.
It's not, but it is.
Exactly, it's not, but it is. But yeah, no, I definitely would love to hang out with you sometime in the future, Lori. You're all right by us, and I wish we could. I wish that I could say for certain that at least talking about this tonight and bringing this whole subject and bringing it home over here, because if they're discussing it in Texas, they're discussing it over at Geeks 5 Ever, and if they know about this stuff and they're trying to help push this with the news, then we have a responsibility to do it as well. This is happening right in our own backyard, so we want to make sure we want to make sure that we help out however we can, if nothing else, providing another platform for this to come out. Because the original story came out with a different cosplayer. It was Sarah Serenity.
Yeah.
Who initially
there is many more victims. There like we were talking about at Geeks 5 Ever, the actual estimated victim count was close to 30. But I've only personally spoken to 5 of them.
Well, and that is without counting. That is without counting.
But they claim about 30 people came forward.
God damn.
Actually, you know what, Juan, Angel, I think right now would be a best opportunity to address this. Folks who are watching, folks who are listening right now on our simulcast, if you yourself or if you know anyone who have been personally victimized by this individual or have been a victim of the same circumstances with other individuals, and if you want to tell your story, if you want to reach out to us, I think we're more active. We out of all the social media outlets, I think we can agree that we are more active on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock. If you go on our page, send us a message, and we'll respond to you very promptly. And I will share that link in the comments. That is www.facebook.com/TheRavensFlock.
Yeah. Yep. Also, for the same victims, please contact Spectrum News 13. You can contact their tip line, or you can contact their email n-13@charter.com.
All right, so I'm
Like,
actually,
please send as much information as you can so the media can get on his ass,
all right,
please.
I'm looking up the tip line for the
Yeah,
Spectrum News 13 in Orlando, correct?
I forgot their number. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Nah, it's fine.
But I spoke with them over the phone, and if they did pick up the story, I would have to go into the live studio and talk about it.
All right, I'm just double checking over here. Let's see, breaking news. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and provide that. I'm looking at the Spectrum News 13 page right now. You can go there. It's mynews13.com. And their breaking news tip line. They have two different phone numbers. There's 407-513-1313. There's also 888-236-1313. Or you can email them at n13-desk@charter.com.
Oh yeah, I got the email wrong, guys. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's fine. As long as we can get the information there, the important thing is balance.
Yeah, I'm gonna post that here in the chat line over here. So, so I just went ahead and put up the email and phone numbers for Charter News 13 in Orlando, who's the main the news outlet that's trying to bring this to light. Please, if you've been approached or if you've been victimized by this man, by this Eric guy, like I said, we're not going to give his last name because fuck him. Please go ahead and reach out to Spectrum News 13. Reach out to them. Whatever evidence you have, screenshots, photos, text messages, like freaking like scrawled letters in crayon that he leaves under your door, whatever. I don't know. Because he seems like the type who would, but that's just conjecture here.
Indeed.
The fact that he would be willing to actually look up one of my friends and like threaten to like win his victory over him and is like really messed up.
Indeed. And of course, if there's anybody who works for or in the con community that reaches to the sound of this message, we would ask you to please keep an eye out on this individual. If not for the sake of the cosplayers, please remember that the reputation of your con hangs in the balance of who you let attend. Because I figure if we cannot hanker to human decency, we might as well hanker to profit at this point, no matter what it takes. Please be aware that this appears to be an extremely dangerous individual with connections that has been getting away with committing some heinous shit for some time now. And hey, if the law ain't doing it, we might as well put the word out there. Somebody has to listen, right?
No, you're right about that, Angel. I was actually going to point out one of the elements that Jesse Coco brought up during the Geeks 5 Ever podcast was that this situation could be easily resolved by convention staff having a staff about us page on their main website, or at least put it up on like wherever their social media is. So that way, like anyone who's like a full-time staff member of the convention, because you can't vouch for volunteers, of course, but like if there's someone who works with press or with panels or like the venue liaison or the convention owners, having a name and email and a photo of the person on there like you would with a regular company or corporation or whatever helps go a long way in identifying people who work at the convention and make sure that they're not held up on this. And I mentioned this this past Monday. One good example on this is actually on the MetroCon page. If you need to reach out to someone for MetroCon, they have their entire staff there with photographs and with of them and like a little blurb kind of bio, like, hey, I work for this part of the convention, blah blah blah. This is my email. I don't know, photography person at metrocon.com. Basically they give you a way to contact them, and it's above board, and it's not like some shady shit going on somebody on WhatsApp or on Facebook Messenger or anything like that. So that's like a very good example, and other conventions would do well to follow in that specific example. It would go a long way.
Yes, I agree with you, because this guy was pretty elaborate. He took AFO said that he took a previous year's schedule and used that schedule to try to sound more legit, like he actually knew what the schedule was, and making a fake Google form to get people's contact information. In my situation, because he claimed he was hosting a contest.
So yeah, he did his homework. He was trying to do what he could in order to get make his lie as convincing as possible. Also, we have a friend of the Ravens flock, Jace Burner, on the chat saying this is the Black Files content we need. Thank you for joining us, Jace. Please spread the word.
Thank you, Jace.
Yep, they're an old friend over here, and please go ahead, spread the word, share this episode of the Black Files wherever you can, especially if you're in the Florida area. So yeah, we definitely appreciate that. I'm just double checking, seeing if there's anything else that we need to cover here, Lori. It'd be really cool, like I said, if we can meet up with you. You know, we do convention coverage. We try to have fun. We leave the serious shit here on this program on the Black Files, because that way we can dedicate like a whole hour or however long we do whenever it comes to these sort of topics. But we're not just all work and no play. You know, on Saturdays we have Los Amigos play, where Angel usually spearheads us on a video game. We chat like a pack of chuckle fucks behind him to make fun and have fun with the gaming experience.
Oh yeah,
some might call it backseat driving. I call it doing my lines of crack properly.
In fact, you know what, Juancho, let me go ahead and take the helm. And yes, Juan, you are right. We do have other shows under our channel for the enjoyment and for all viewers that are subscribed to us. And yes, Juan's right. Every Saturday, 5 o'clock, we have Los Amigos play. This Saturday, we are going to do our best and wrap up Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. I know that last week we had some technical issues with the Steam platform, but according to Angel, my esteemed colleague here, he has made absolutely 100% assurance that those issues are resolved.
That's right. It took me a while, and I had to rely on the tried and true method of punching my computer a few times. But by the awesome power of technology and domestic abuse, I managed to get it working again. So I look forward for everybody joining us so we can actually complete that.
Yeah,
and
I guess I'll make my closing. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm actually already done this part. So
yeah,
please say your part.
I'll make my closing statement. As a member of the autistic community and someone who's, both has an ADHD and an autism diagnosis, I cannot express my disappointment in the handling of my situation by the Florida authorities and how dehumanized I felt. And it's very difficult for me with my autism to have friends and stuff and everything. And it would absolutely destroy me if I never got to see Justin again. Seriously. I mean, I can't force people to stay, but
at the same time,
it is what it is. And my disability, everything's just really hard. But thank you so much for having me on.
No, thank you for
showing up today.
For coming up, and we appreciate you coming on, Lori. It's like I said, I know this isn't easy. I know this isn't something that you want defining you for the rest of your life, but it's definitely not an experience that can just go ignored. And
Juan, I think you're coming off a little choppy on the video feed.
Oh, you're talking about the video itself? Okay, give me 2
seconds.
Well,
it's on my Zoom call. I'm pretty sure it's not getting choppy on YouTube.
No, I know that. It's just the camera tends to the webcam that I'm using tends to glitch out. All right, that should be a little better. But as far as you're concerned here, Lori, like I was saying, I know this isn't easy. I'm really sorry that you had to go through this situation, but hopefully something good can happen here. Hopefully your story can help bring this guy to justice, and hopefully we've done something to help out over here. And you're free to reach out to us anytime. It doesn't just have to be about this. We could just chill, shoot the breeze. You just talk about whatever. You're all right in our book, and we'd love nothing more than to see you at a convention very soon. Give you the big ass hug you deserve, because you're a friggin' hero, and and you're one of the good ones out here, and we want to make sure that you're taken care of here, Lori. I want to thank you for
Absolutely
tonight.
Thank you.
much respect and much love from all of us.
Thank you kindly, and hope that everything goes well for you in the future.
Yes. I guess apart from that, there's really not much else to Juan. I guess there's not much else to cover. I mean, we're a little over 11 o'clock.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I gotta turn myself into after this.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap us up over here.
Before you wrap us up with your plugs, Wacho, let me go ahead and continue what I was left off. So yes, this Saturday at 5.
I was actually going to cover the plugs and the rest of the shows here for you as well, Joe. I was going to go ahead and get that wrapped up.
Okay.
Well, yeah, might as well do it then.
Yeah, it's okay. I know you wanted to go ahead and speak out a little more. I just wanted to go ahead and help us get this wrapped up. I know it's late. Everyone needs to sleep or eat or shower or whatever.
Yeah, I have to be up early for an interview tomorrow.
I'll go ahead and get us wrapped up.
Best of luck with that, by the way.
Thank you again for that, Lori. We appreciate you coming on tonight. As Jose was mentioning, Saturdays we have our Let's Play program, Los Amigos Play, which is live 5 p.m. Eastern to 6:30 p.m. Tomorrow night, Jose is going to be spearheading his pro wrestling recap show, the Wrestle Rewind, where he discusses.
Hells yeah! For all the wrestling fans out there,
Joe.
if you want to hear me,
dork. I was going to say, I know you get excited.
Well, no, because one of the things I do want to talk about, and I want to share it with Angel privately later to make sure to see if hear me out. Because one of the things I do want to talk about is the main event from AEW, and they keep hyping it up so much. And it's literally a match that's called the Blood and Guts match.
I'm sorry, the what?
Blood and Guts.
Yeah, it's professional wrestling. There's no such thing as subtlety, Joe.
Well, good. I'm gonna have to look into this shit.
Jose Casabona joins us, and he recaps this week's editions of WWE NXT, All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite, and Impact Wrestling. So Jose's going to be capping us off tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern time on over here. And of course, our flagship program, the Ravens Flock, is going to be this Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're all going to be live. We're all going to be in front of the camera. We're going to be discussing this week's big news and different discussions in the con community and geek culture, in movies and TV shows and comic books, in weird internet stuff going on. So we'll discuss all that, and we're gonna try and have much more fun there. So definitely join. Definitely join us here. And with that said, we're gonna go ahead and wrap everything up. This has been another edition of the Black Files, folks. Thank you again, Lori, for joining us tonight. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, Angel Mendez, for joining us here. And of course,
thank you all.
Folks,
thank you very much.
For joining us. Sorry, go ahead.
If anyone watching hasn't seen the Geeks 5 Ever podcast about this and wants to know more, I'd highly recommend that you watch them, because my actual face is in it and not like this weird icon. And it also explains it better. That's all I had to say.
Right, yeah, definitely. Go ahead and check out the podcast from Geeks 5 Ever, which was broadcast this past Monday night. That was Monday the 3rd. And of course, we ask you folks who've been listening and watching, if you're listening to the audio format, which will be available Thursday, it's on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. And of course, continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlockOnline, Twitch.tv/TheRavensFlockOnline. And of course, don't forget to follow our flagship platform, youtube.com/TheRavensFlock, home of the Black Files, the Wrestle Rewind, Los Amigos Play, and the Ravens Flock. For Miss Lori, for Jose Casabona, for Angel Mendez. This is I'm Juan Arauz. I want to thank you all for watching tonight on this week's uncensored, uncompromising review podcast of the Ravens Flock. This has been the Black Files, and we are out.